know, a day does not go by without me being gently chastised right here on the show, and that's fine. If you were paying close attention, you saw that the Money Minute didn't come up. That's due after this segment, so stay with us for that. Tommy Richardson is here, legal analyst. We're going to talk about Arizona has one of the highest rates for uninsured drivers. We have the most fires raging right now, and we have the highest rate for uninsured drivers. To what, Tommy, do we think we can attribute that?
Well, there are probably many reasons, and one that stands out the most would be the downturn in the economy, as well as all of the immigrant traffic that flows through Arizona.
Oh, yes. Now, we were talking before we went on the air. Dr. Hancock had a great question for you. How does this happen? Because you're required to have insurance, obviously, to operate a vehicle, get your license, and the whole 9 yards. How does this happen then? You need it, but then an accident happens, so many people turn up without it.
Well, it's like Warren Buffett said, when the tide goes out, you can see who's been swimming naked.
Yeah, Warren said that.
I didn't either.
He said a lot of things, that one I haven't heard.
I wouldn't want to see Warren naked, but that's okay.
I don't want to give anybody any tips on how to avoid getting their insurance coverage, but there are ways around the law. A lot of people will get their coverage in order to get their registration, and then once they have their registration, they let their insurance lapse. So they're able to get registration for their vehicle and then drive uninsured.
And how long in arrears before the insurance calls them up and says, hey, or if they do and say, you're not covered, then do they have an illegal driver's license? Or are they just going to continue to drive and say, yeah, you're right, I don't have insurance?
They are notified, and they continue to drive without any insurance, but they have their registration, so as long as they don't have any accidents, they're fine.
There's no recourse.
Right.
We have no recourse on that then, correct?
We do have recourse, and that's the topic, is to get uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. On yourself.
Right.
On your family. A lot of people, in fact, I was driving with a guy the other day that said, well, I don't have uninsured motorist coverage because I have health insurance and my agent said I didn't need it. Well, that's crazy.
My question was, we don't have any recourse against the driver who is doing this, the driver who is pulling this, call it a scam.
If someone hits me and they're uninsured, then my uninsured motorist covers me, but they're just scot-free, they're not paying anything.
Well, they're paying a fine to the state, and you're actually given a right to your insurance company to go and collect the money that they've paid out to you for the uninsured motorist. So when you take over your coverage, you're assigning your right of action against the driver who's uninsured.
Do we see uninsured rates with drivers high in areas, tourism-type states, I would imagine? Florida, maybe Arizona, the southern parts of the country. I don't know why I'm thinking that. I have nothing to base that on, but an influx of people in and out of the state.
I think you see it in the tourist areas, but also where the country has been hit hardest as far as the economy. Alabama, Mississippi, Arizona, New Mexico are about the top 4 as far as uninsured drivers. And in Arizona, 1 in every 5 cars that you meet are uninsured.
Wow.
So, and there have been statistics a little higher, 22% in some studies, a little lower, 18% in some studies. So you're averaging about 1 in 5 cars are uninsured.
1 in 5 cars you pass on the road.
That's amazing. That's way
amazing.
higher than I would have thought. 1 in 20. Of course, what do I know? So if someone rents a car, it may depend on their insurance policy. I know when you rent a car, they say $29 a day. Once you get it off the lot, it's $83 because you have insurance for the vehicle, property damage. And so can you get uninsured, or not uninsured, but can you insure that rental car and be legal in that sense when you drive off of their rental car lot?
Well, in a rental car situation, and right now the legislature is being bullied to try to change that law, but in a rental car situation, it's automatic coverage by the rental car company, at least the state minimum, because it's a vehicle on the highway. It has to have minimum coverage of the $15,000 policy.
Tommy, I've been wanting to ask someone this question. There is a spray on the market now that will get you, you'll be drunk in an instant. It's a spray, it's a mouth spray. And I don't know if you've heard about it, but I'm just thinking legal ramifications on this. If we have a spray, if you have an open can of alcohol in the car, that you can be cited for that.
Correct.
Okay. Now, we have a spray that'll make you intoxicated in an instant. You have that spray in your car. Are we going to see lawsuits and legal ramifications on this? What if you're caught driving and you have that spray in your car? Is that not the same?
How could it not be? I'm not sure the spray you're talking about. It must be some type of a hallucinogen.
Yes.
But if you were to have any type of narcotic, any type of
Anything that causes impairment would
Right,
be
impairment.
my red flag. I would
Why would you have that open in your vehicle anyway? It'd be a good idea to.
Drunk. I don't drink that. I don't drink anything. It's like, why would you want to be drunk in an instant?
But this is going to open a whole new area of lawsuits, I think, this spray that's out there now.
Well, the DPS and Arizona police officers have the opportunity or the ability to test impairment. Even
Right.
though you don't have alcohol in your registering in your system, they can still tell whether or not you're impaired, and then the further test can determine what's in your
What if you're driving
system.
and you're not impaired? You haven't sprayed in your mouth recently, but it's in the car.
Well, it would have to be if there's an open container or any type of alcoholic beverage
Thing.
or item
Thing.
in your vehicle, then you would have the open
Same
container law
laws will
apply.
Yes.
Sure.
Very interesting.
But the takeaway is everybody should get uninsured motorists just in case.
Well, compared to your liability coverage, your uninsured motorist is pennies on the dollar as far as the coverage costs. So it makes no sense to drive around without uninsured motorist coverage.
Tommy, we find you in Phoenix?
Phoenix, Arizona, that's right.
Yes, okay.